All right, tonight's interview is really special. When you see a tequila that has the name Luisyana on it, and you're thinking, okay, there's a state in America called Louisiana, and you find out that the name has nothing to do with that, and you get to meet a young man named Jose Andres that's making a fantastic traditional tequila from Amatitán, you just get so excited about really what the future holds in tequila. So stick around for this interview because this one is out of sight, man. This was really fun. Jose Andres is making some amazing stuff, and I hope that someday you get your hands on Luisyana Tequila. Stick around. Watch this one. You're going to enjoy it.
It's tasting tequila with Brad. It's tasting tequila with Brad.
All right, guys, we're going to do it again. We're going to bring another great brand new brand to you. I'm so excited to be with Jose Andres, and we're going to talk about Luisyana Tequila. Jose, how are you doing tonight, my friend?
Well, I'm fine, and thank you because you invited me to share my own brand, and thanks for what you're doing for the industry. I mean, this is a free for everyone that wants to share their brand. I really like it, and really good.
Well,
Thank you.
I, I get to taste some of the best tequila, but really the best part is I get to meet amazing people like you, and it really makes this a lot of fun. And learning about how tequila is made and the people behind it, I think is so fun. So thank you for doing this and being a part of it. I'm going to pour a glass here before we get started
Of
because
course.
I haven't tasted these yet, and I can't wait. I've heard nothing but amazing things. So why don't you tell everybody a little bit about who you are and your journey into tequila?
Well, first I'm gonna start with my story, with
Perfect.
the grounds I have. I'm a fourth generation maestro tequilero. The father of my grandfather used to live at Zacatecas. And there were some people that was trying to kill him, and him and his father came down to Guadalajara. So they didn't have anything to do. They didn't have any business. So he started selling tequila, well, like granel and by liters. And he used to sell it to the cantinas, to the shops, I mean everywhere, and that's how he started making money. And then he bought like several facilities. He bought the distillery used to be called Tres Estrellas, but it's like an hacienda now. And some I don't know if you've heard of Los Slim. They
Hmm.
bought it, and it's like a museum now. It's not ours, but it used to be. So he got killed. My father, the grandfather of my the father of my grandfather got killed, and then he didn't taught their sons how to keep going the business.
Hmm.
You know, that's a very common history in a lot of families. They don't
Hmm.
make their sons their own path. So that's why my father saw that the backgrounds that he had, and he got this idea of building a distillery because literally they got rid of every distillery. My grandfather and my grandmother, the grandfather is the son of the master distiller,
Hmm.
that the one that didn't wasn't taught to keep the tequila business. And my grandmother, she has roots for, I mean, her family used to be one of the people with most money in Amatitan. Her father used to all the agave that the big distillers needed. He used to provide it. That's one part why Amatitan is called the cuna del tequila, because the agave always came from there. So coming next to my father, he got this idea to start building a distillery, and it took him to build it since my brother is 26 years.
Hmm.
So it took him like 22 years to build it, and we got our nom like 4 years ago. So it was a big journey for my father, not so long for us, but it was big thing to accomplish. My father isn't even, he's a dentist,
Oh wow.
uh, maxillofacial surgeon. So,
Wow. So so is that the nom that you guys have is 1611? That's your distillery?
mhm, yeah,
And so he worked hard to build it, and then you guys have been the ones to figure out how to run it and
yeah.
make the tequila?
I mean, we were starting making great tequila, but we didn't know how to sell it. I mean, we
Sure.
were thinking like, how are we gonna sell it? It's not easy. We need money, a lot of money to sell it.
Yes.
So how that's how I saw you guys at the US making videos of tequila and being able to promote other guys tequilas, and I saw the future that I always say that the US is like a big Mexico.
Yeah.
What what happens in the US is probably gonna happen at Mexico.
Mhm.
So we started making videos. The first video that blew up was my brother and I reacting to Don Julio Blanco. And we were saying his fucking shit. We don't like, and then blow up, and we were like, damn, it's, and we, that's how we started. And since then, we are making great now, making videos, but selling our brand, also trying to, like what you are doing, giving brands, good brands with good tequila, giving them a spot in our videos
Mhm.
and helping the community. So now I wanna talk about our product. This is our product, as you can see, also in Brad's. So Luis, the brand is called Luisyana.
Mhm.
Luis because my grandfather was Luis, and Anna because my grandmother was Anna, and
Oh,
they're the
wow.
ones that helped my father to build it. And there's if you see, there's four pencas in it, representing the four generations of maestros tequileros.
Oh, wow.
And here we have the four generations.
Oh, that's
And
beautiful.
yeah, and at first it was a mistake that, I mean, if you put the label like this and you stick it, it would get like crunches there.
Mhm.
It wouldn't be good. I mean, it would look bad.
Right.
So we were thinking like, damn, what do we do? Because we had to do the label like this big, so it wouldn't look that good
Right.
anymore. So we were with our designer. That's the importance of a good designer, and he told us like, well, just let it be. I mean, let it sit like that, and it looks like, I don't know if you have heard about the Angostura beers.
Mhm.
Have you seen it?
Yeah, yeah,
The
yeah.
label that doesn't look like fit, and we were like, if they're selling, we can sell,
What and
and then
to
we
me,
can with
it
maybe
looks like an agave plant. Like,
yeah,
that is like it looks like the pincus of an agave plant, and I think it
yeah,
is so beautiful on the bottle. It's a beautiful bottle.
yeah.
It's
It's a unique, totally
very
unique.
unique. So tell me the difference between this bottle here that's clear and this bottle here that's a little bit green.
Well, um, first I this is actually a good story. We were blending our tequila lower and down, and it got a little bit not crystal clear. It was turbid, and I asked my followers like, what do you prefer? Do you prefer a crystal clear tequila with, I mean, taking out some of the notes? Because if you, it's impossible, even any kind of filter you use, you'll get rid of some of the flavors and notes. So I asked my followers, and everybody said that, nearly everybody said that,
Mm.
let it be as it is.
Yeah.
We don't use any filters. We just use, I mean, for sediments, for
Mhm.
little particles, that, and that's it. And it wouldn't be that it wouldn't look good on the shelf
Mm.
if the bottle was crystal clear, you know.
Yep.
So that's how we decided to use this. And besides that, it looks different also,
Yeah.
because my God, is it a wine? Is it a champagne? What is this? Yeah,
Uh, When I first opened the box, I was like, okay, what is that? Like, this is so cool looking. Like,
yeah,
it just, they both got me like okay, this is awesome. So, and I'd only seen pictures of the bottle, hadn't seen them in person. So opening them up was just like, okay, wow. And then the label like just jumped out at me. So knowing that the way you've designed that is so cool, and that the family members are there, that is very
Yeah,
cool. Tradition and family and tequila to me is so important, and it's kind of what makes this spirit so unique and so romantic that you have these multiple generations that are continuing, something from their family. I think it's awesome. So let's talk about the agave. Where do your agave come from?
where our agave comes from our own lands.
Okay.
These were lands that were from our family from generations. I don't
Mm,
even know. So this one is from El Zapotillo. Is one of our brands. Amatitan. All of them
okay.
are Amatitan, and we only use 7 years agave. We cut it and we take the up part apart to not get bitterness.
Mhm.
Also about the process, we made like 20 different samples to get into the perfect profile that we wanted to get. And there were two that stand out the most. So one is the 150%. The 50% is from a fermentation where we didn't use any yeast at all.
Okay.
It was like
Mm.
Sylvester, totally Sylvester.
So total
And
wild
yeah,
fermentation, just what was
yeah,
in the
wild
air on the
fermentation.
yeast.
But we wanted to, because if you use wild fermentation, some days you're gonna get this profile, some days you're not gonna get that profile. I mean, it's gonna change a lot. So we didn't want that to change, and we actually have a tina down underground of stainless steel. What that does, it doesn't add any flavor to the fermentation, but it's because of the underground that it is. It gives you a more stable tequila because you don't have that highs and lows of temperature at the day. I mean, here in Guadalajara, sometimes it's relatively cold, and some and in the day it's really hot. I mean,
Mhm.
so also it's a lot more efficient for fermenting.
Okay, so let's explain this for people who don't know some of those words. So what you're saying is your tanks that you use for fermentation are in underground in a cellar. So you have a temperature controlled situation. So you're still open air. You still have
Yeah,
the ambientness of the air, but you're controlling the temperature by being a little subterranean,
yeah,
right? And are you using stainless steel for those tanks?
yeah, stainless steel.
Okay.
And for our other 50%, we use added yeast
Okay.
to give it a more stable profile. Also,
Gotcha. So you're using like just a commercial yeast to add
well, it's our own. We developed it with
a
some
proprietary.
friends. Yeah,
Okay.
and we like them both. I mean, we tried the wild fermentation in the underground tanks and also in the above tanks, and it wasn't the same.
So the temperature really made a big
Yeah,
difference on your
yeah,
fermentation.
and we tried it because we only have one tank in the undergrounds, so we tried to replicate it in the up there in the
Mm.
upgrounds.
So how many liters is your underground tank?
30,000.
Okay, so that's a big tank.
Yeah, it's a big tank. That's a good thing.
Yeah,
But
that's a good one.
the uh, the other tanks that are out, they're 22,000. Four of them
30,000.
are 22,000. For the added yeast, we have like it takes like 12 days to
Okay.
ferment, and for the wild, it's 15 days.
So you're probably going into a little bit of a malolactic
Yeah,
fermentation in that process because I get a nice gentle funkiness in both of
yeah,
these. That's what I was going to ask you. Are we doing malolactic fermentation? Because I
yeah.
pick up.
It's kind of like a pellicule
Yeah.
up, and it gives you that flavor. But we also have some other process that is we only the producers know that it gives that's the perfect touch, the final touch in the fermentation.
It gives it a great mouthfeel. Like both of these have just a nice creamy, full mouthfeel. So I was kind of picking up on a little mallow in there. So let's back up a little bit. So when you're harvesting, are you doing Hema large, Hema medium, or Hema baja?
Well, medium, medium.
Medium. Okay, so Hema medium, and then what's your standard for cooking? What are you doing for your cooking?
Well, cooking, you always go to tours at the distilleries, and they always say 24 hours for cooking and 24 hours for resting. No,
Mhm.
it's not that simple.
No, it's
And
not.
if they're doing that, they don't know how to cook for real.
Exactly.
So you have to look at the density of the agave. You have to
Mhm.
see how big they are. For example, for a smaller agave, it would take not that much. It would take
Sure.
like maybe even 22 hours. I don't
Mhm.
know, 24 hours. But for us, we use 30 hours
Okay.
for cooking it because we have big piñas, and it also is old. You have seen also the reddish agave,
Yep.
like kind of wine. Have you tasted them?
Yes.
How do they taste?
Phenomenal, sweet, and so good.
That's what I'm saying. But those parts, when they get cooked, they're a lot more hard. Yeah,
It's
and
more
also
dense.
your machinery has to have more maintenance in smaller periods of time because of that.
So are you doing a stone oven or masonry oven?
Yeah, it's the brick oven.
Okay. And then probably cutting them in halves and quarters, moving the
Yeah,
kogoya before you go into
yeah,
cooking. And you're cooking to perfection, not necessarily to, hey, we're gonna cook for this much time.
yeah,
You're basing it on the weight and how big your agaves are,
yeah,
and one cook maybe 30 hours, one cook maybe 40 hours, right? And
yeah,
basing it on your agave that are in there. Doing the standard, turn it on, get the steam going 8-10 hours, shut it off, drain the bitter honeys, and then turn it back on and finish your
mm,
cook that way. And then when you do the rest, when you're finished cooking and you open up your ovens, do you also have a top that opens up to let the heat rise out of the
yeah,
top, or are you just out of the doors, or both?
yes. We have the one in the top and two doors. Oh, it if you go to our distillery, when you taste the agave, the cooked agave, tastes like caramel. That little hours more also
Mhm.
give it like a caramel flavor in it.
So then we're going out of those stone ovens, and what's our method for extraction?
Roller mills,
And how many pass roller mill do you use?
we have two, only two, and we
Okay,
pass it through the two, three times.
3 times. Okay,
Yeah,
so there's a lot of wheelbarrow action going on in there, isn't there?
yeah,
So when you're using your mill, so water gets sprayed down on each
yeah.
mill to extract the juices. Are you at any time using juice
We have
from
a
agave?
we have well water from
Okay, so you use well water on both mills. Okay,
yeah,
that's a long hard process, isn't it?
yeah, and the minerality that
Mhm.
gives the well water is way too good.
So then we're going into fermentation. We're going through this long malolactic wild fermentation. And then when you finish fermentation, you're going into distillation. What are you using
Well,
for your stills?
we only have one cup, one copper steel, and we only for Louisiana we only use that.
Okay,
It's a-
so your still that you use for ordinario, then you come back and use
yeah,
that same still for refractor to make tequila.
but I gotta say, I mean, there's a lot of haters with the stainless steel, and there's
I
a
don't
lot
think
of
so.
lovers with the copper. But I mean, I always say that the copper steel is like a filter.
Mhm.
It's
It's,
gonna
it's
give
true.
you a more round profile.
Mhm.
But with the stainless steel, it's gonna give you what it is. I mean, the
Yes.
raw flavor of the tequila or the ordinario.
Because I one thing I've learned with meeting with many master distillers, so many of the guys that that I know you're friends with as well, and copper removes some flavors
Mhm.
and some compounds that come from fermentation. But if you want the fermentation to shine through in your tequila, stainless steel leaves those things in there, so it comes down to your cuts and
Yeah.
utilizing the right cuts. So how do you work through the cuts that you do to decide where your flavor profile is going to come out at?
Well, that's why we this because we were making the tequila. At the first, we only had stainless steel. We were making samples, and it was way too rough. I mean, way
Sure.
too much agave, but not refined. And that's why we decided to buy a copper pot
Hmm.
and still both of them in the copper pot.
Gotcha.
'Cause it was
So
way too much.
yeah,
It was,
a lot of fermentation comes through in all
yeah.
stainless steel, and I've had several tequilas that a great master distiller does a great job with those cuts, and it's delicious. But it is a much tighter cut. So you're cutting heads and tails. Are you reusing any heads and tails in second distillation, or are you going hearts and hearts only?
Yes, we reuse some of the heads and the tails at
Okay,
the
in your second distillation.
no. For example, if you're making a first batch of ordinario
Okay.
and you distill it and you get the heads and the tails, you get them back to another fermenting tank.
Oh, okay. So you're reintroducing them into
Yeah.
fermentation. You're not reintroducing them.
Some
Okay, that makes
one of
sense.
the parts, like half, something like that.
Some places will reintroduce some of the tails and some of the heads into second
Yeah.
distillation, right? So reintroducing them into fermentation is adding more alcohol back into fermentation, which then you're cutting those back out the next time you go. That's awesome. That's
Mhm.
so how did you learn to do these processes?
I We had some friends of, you know them very well, Cascanes, and they wanted to replicate their joven. Did you Have you tasted their joven, the malolactic one?
Yes, it's delicious.
Yeah. So we were trying to replicate it, and like that, we were getting ideas like how to do this, how to do that, and we were in. I mean, we were just using natural things like let's get some cheese fermented and put it in the fermenting tank, and we were making a lot of stuff. So that's how we started. I mean,
Gotcha.
we when they got to us, we didn't know that the people from the U.S. knew that much about tequila.
So
And
they were at that time they were kind of chasing that the 1599 funk that you
yeah,
had at Atanasio,
yeah,
um, which is
because
so
what?
distinct.
Yeah, they got to us because we when we started the when we didn't even had the nom, we made a batch, and it was like that. I mean,
Mm.
it tasted like queso cotija, literally. So so that's how they knew about us. They knew that we did that profile.
So that funk is really coming from a bacteria that shows
Yeah,
up in
that's a
fermentation.
contamination. I mean,
Yeah, that's second fermentation.
yeah,
Yeah.
and it is not even second. It's a third fermentation. Getting out of the, I know fermentation is turning sugar into alcohol, but two more processes. I mean,
Turning alcohol into lactic acid is
yeah,
your next piece to go malolactic. And
yeah,
I
and then
explain it in a childish way. I explain it in the fact that
yeah,
yeast eats sugar and poops out alcohol, right?
yeah,
And then at some point, a bacteria shows up when yeast is dead, eats alcohol, and poops out lactic acid. That's like how I explained it as
yeah,
a child, right?
and then there's some bacteria called Clostridium butyricum that turns that lactato ethylo
Mhm.
into butyric acid, and that's the real malolactic that you see. Because yeah, we have done malolactic fermentations from, we bought some bacteria from companies that sell yeast,
Mhm.
and they sell you the malolactic components, but it I mean it gets kind of malolactic, but not that much like the other one. Yeah,
It doesn't work as a natural distillery has this bacteria that's there and makes it happen,
yeah.
right?
It's, I mean, we have done like 20 samples of that, and we only replicated like one, for real one,
Oh,
because the
wow.
first one was a mistake.
And we're talking about Cascanes, which is a great brand. I love everything Cascanes does, and and leaning back into 1599 in Atanasio and what Renee does there at Atanasio. There is a distinct funk that's
Yeah,
that's there that you I mean, I can pick those out of a lineup, in a blind.
yeah,
I know that's like that tequila. And so you have a malolactic flavor in both of these that I have.
mhm,
It's not the same funk, but it is a delicious smell.
yeah,
And the taste is very creamy, like very viscous in the mouthfeel, both of
mhm,
these actually. And that funk that's there turns into this really nice creamy depth of flavor that is very good. So you have, I don't want to say you're doing what they did or you're doing what they did. You're doing what you do, and it tastes
yeah.
amazing,
I
on
mean,
its own.
even if some people try to replicate what I do, they wouldn't do it because each distillery has its own flavors. I mean, it's impossible to replicate the flavor from another distillery besides additives.
Exactly.
Yeah,
And I have to say, I mean, you can taste in your tequila that it's not industrialized. Like
yeah.
so many brands, you taste them and you pick up this process. And with yours, it is depth. It's complex. There's a lot of great flavors here. So this is really good. This
Thank
is
you.
tell me what's next? What else are you working on?
Well, we are we plan to go out in the US, but we want to go deeper. I mean, we want to have batches like 200 bottles of batches really different. I mean, if you
Hmm.
went to our distillery, you would freak the out because we have some profiles that have there have gone people like, damn, what the f is this? Is this tequila?
Yeah, that's
All
awesome.
natural.
So are you doing any aged products, any repos?
Yeah, we have a reposado.
Okay.
It's 4 months in the barrel. We use Four Roses barrels,
Okay.
and we are also planning to build some stuff there. But our strong path is blancos now because most of the people is trying to innovate with barrels that whiskey, ray, all of that, and
Mhm.
we are trying to innovate with with the things that not a lot of people are doing. Because besides, for example, Sergio Cruz, he's doing great stuff with
Yeah.
blancos.
Yeah.
Yeah, we are.
Sergio's amazing, isn't he?
Yeah,
He's a great guy.
yeah.
So how long has the brand been in existence? How long have you been making this brand?
I mean, for real, like 5 months.
Okay, so I thought you were like brand
Yeah,
new.
yeah. We are
So
really brand new.
let's take away all of the part of building the distillery and profile and making the tequila, right? Because I know that's a difficult piece in itself.
Yeah.
So let's set that hard work over here. What's been the hard work of creating a brand beyond the profile and making the tequila? Tell us about the difficulty of actually getting your brand name, your logo, your label, and bring it to market. How hard has that part been?
Well, I mean, for us, it has the hard part was 2 years ago.
Okay.
Mm, when we hadn't have we didn't have a way to sell it.
Okay.
I mean, we didn't have this brand. We didn't have any brand, but 2 years ago we started making videos, and that's how we started selling. The
Gotcha.
first, I mean, the most difficult part is to get the people to know your brand. The hardest people to start, yeah,
Okay.
because
So really the part of getting the CRT and your name and picking your bottles and all that came a lot easier than getting your brand exposed to the public.
yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
The
So
I mean, I have the worst part. The worst part is the bureaucracy here in Mexico.
okay, yeah, I was gonna say there's got to be a tough part about that.
Yeah,
I already know.
yeah. I'm really grateful for my position that I am now because if it wasn't for the socials, we wouldn't
Mhm.
we wouldn't be where we are for real.
Okay, so I'm going to ask you I'm going to go away from tequila a little bit. You speak really good English. So where did your good English come from? How did you learn to be able to speak English so well?
Well, we had a private teacher at my house, and he
Okay.
taught me how to speak English.
Okay, good. So do you have another education behind this? Do you have
Yeah, actually, I studied finance.
no kidding. Well,
Yeah,
you know what I do for a living, don't you?
yeah, I know.
I'm a mortgage guy. I'm in the finance business. That's
Yeah.
been my
Now
world for 30
I have
years.
a project of I trade option
Okay.
trading. Yeah.
I'm not a good options trader. I'm a regular trader and I'm a bond market guy because I'm a mortgage guy.
Yeah.
Options go over my head. But I do have some great things going on in some AI currency trading platforms. So I'm winning on that side. But the options, I lose on those. I don't figure it out. But yes, just a small amount.
Yeah.
Um, SpaceX, Tesla, big the Mag 7. I'm deep into. I was fortunate to be able to get a friend of mine back in 2019 said, "Dude, you need to look at Nvidia." So I
Yeah.
actually was an early investor in
Fortunate.
Nvidia. So some luck there. But the AI currency trading, not crypto, but just regular currency, is up and giving me some great returns. But as a mortgage business owner, as a mortgage company, we have to securitize our loans. So we have to play the bond market. So I've been playing
Mm.
the bond market for 30 years. So it's given me a good understanding of the regular market, but options go over my head on winning and winning when you're losing and losing when you're winning, and I can't figure it out. So you got me there, my friend.
That's why I like the most
Yeah,
options.
uh,
Yeah.
my,
Because
my
you
business partner is a big options
can
trader.
win if the stock doesn't move.
Yeah, like this, we're leaving the tequila world, but you're betting on where the stock will be in 60 days or 90 days or 180
Yeah.
days, whether it's up or down. You
Well,
can
we
win.
usually trade at 45 between 45 and more than 25. That's the
Okay.
range that we are
Yeah.
trading
Yeah. So
with my
it's
group that we have like a group, and we all get into a Zoom call and we all trade.
So I will tell you one of the things that got me drinking was trading bonds
Yeah.
and securitizing mortgage-backed securities. Because on those days where you lost, 50 basis points on a $10 million bundle, are the days that you busted
Yes.
out anything to drink, and those were common, in the late '90s, in the mid 2000s, and 2008. Those were good drinking times for me. So.
No, definitely. I know, I know why.
So
And it's
you
been an
you
easy years for me. Not
how
that
many
bad.
how many years?
I mean, I've trading like 2 years.
Oh, I got you by like 30.
Yeah, I mean, it's been
There's
easy for me.
there's days that you pop the bottle and you pour a glass, and
Yeah,
there's days you unscrew the bottle and you pour a glass.
yeah. Besides the Liberation Day, besides that, it's
That's
been
fantastic.
an easy path for me. I,
Well,
I always when I try to trade bonds, I fucked up.
yeah, bonds are hard. I mean, and I don't trade bonds, but I securitize two bonds. So,
Mm,
we're writing mortgages that become bonds that we have to then securitize. So we have uh, to make it a difficult thing simple, we have to forecast where the bond rate's going to be when we close the mortgage and write the rate of what that rate's going to be
yeah,
to ensure the mortgage-backed security is going to cover whatever that mortgage is going to be written at when it closes. And working with the secondary market to decide this is what rates are today based on what the bonds are today, but based on where they're going to be in 30 days when they're closed is a whole another ball game. And then
and
holding
that's like
carry.
a lot of money for one single trade.
Correct. Yeah. Yeah. We're trading, we may have a bundle of, $10 million in loans that are on
Mhm.
that one bond. Right. So it's securing in bundles. So yeah, It is what it is, right? It's a fun business, and you're living on eighths and quarters, and you're losing on halves and three
Yeah,
eighths. Yeah, it's a fun thing. But tequila to me is so much more fun. We can talk about whether how that agave was cooked and all those
yeah,
easier things to talk about. And to me, it's how many different flavors can be created from one plant grown in multiple regions and bring us so many different fantastic flavors and get to meet on top of that so many amazing people that become friends so fast. So
and
that's what I love
also
about this.
one thing I have heard, there's a lot of people that say like it takes 7 years to harvest it. No, it doesn't take 7 years. It takes 3 more years
Right.
because first the mother gets their own child, her own child, and
Right.
you have to wait 3 years to harvest it, to replant it, for it
Yep.
to be a new mother. So it's 10 years, man, or
Yeah.
more.
And a lot of people don't realize the whole part of harvesting hijuelos. What blows me away of the plant, how sturdy the plant is. And I have multiple plants here at my house. I have a 8-year-old, a 5-year-old, a 6-year-old. I have 4 or 5 that are 6-month olds. I have some's growing from seed. So I love this plant. And to know
Are
that,
the older ones big?
oh, I have an 8-year-old. It's a Americana. So I have an
Mm,
8-year-old, a
okay.
5-year-old, and a,
Ah,
a
okay,
6-year-old Americana. They're huge. We pot them. We bring them in the house. We put one of them in the ground. I'm going to put a
okay.
greenhouse over it this year so it stays alive. I have some from seed that are this big. I have
Hmm.
4 off of a Quixote. So they were the pods on the top of the Quixote that are now 5 years old. Now, granted, my growing season is not like a growing season in Mexico. So my 5-year-old plant that's this tall is really only about a 1-year-old because of the growing season, right? They don't get
Okay.
light and sun for 12 months a year. So my growing season's cut in half or thirds. But
Hmm.
I have one that's like this big that's 4 years old from a Quixote. So it's going to take years for it, and it's blue agave. So understanding how this plant works, when you harvest those ciruelos, you can chop the roots off of that and just go put it in a field and let it sit
Yeah,
for months before you put it in the ground, right? And like,
yeah,
so then once you take this 2 or 3-year-old ejote and put it in the ground, now you have a whole another growing cycle after you've
yeah.
planted that plant. And it's hard to,
Imagine all the flavor that the plant is getting out of the earth. I
yeah,
mean,
some from the mother and then the rest from the earth, right? And
and we are saying the fastest growing agave because we're not talking about the other ones
yeah,
that
like the
say
Americana
a lot
or
more.
Samiana or
Yeah,
Tapazate or Tobalar.
yeah,
Is a Habali. Is that the
yeah.
longest growing one,
No,
Habali?
I think it
Yeah.
is.
Yeah, it's really cool. And this is such a romantic spirit and such a traditional spirit, and I'm so glad that it's indigenous to Mexico. That what in my opinion, even though you can make agave spirit somewhere else in the world, no place does it taste like an agave spirit made from Mexico, and nothing tastes like tequila
Have you
that's not made
tasted
in your region.
the I I I think you told me the when we were at the Cascanes about the African
I
one.
No, not the African. I've had the Hawaiian.
Ah, the Hawaiian.
I've had
How
the
was
Waiokua.
how was it?
It's good. It's not the same though.
Hmm.
It has some similarities, but if you think of this, right? We have the terroir of the ground that brings us the flavor of the spirit, right? And we have the production method that brings us the spirit of the taste of the spirit. But we also have, I believe, part of the terroir isn't just where it's grown; it's the yeast, the
Yeah.
bacteria, and the water. And you move this to Hawaii or California or these other places where you don't have the yeast, you don't have the water. So therefore you don't have the base characteristics of tequila or in my opinion, most mezcals, right? Like
Yeah.
mezcal raicilla are coming from a terroir that has the water and the yeast involved. So the ones that I've had that are made in the U.S., California, or Hawaii, the Waiakua spirits from Hawaii, I think is good. Like I could drink it. It's delicious. It's tasty, but it's not the same. It's different.
Mhm.
It's completely different from the flavor profile that really brings me home to my favorites tequila. Like I like some mezcals and raicillas and sotos and bacanoras, but my home is tequila,
Yeah.
and I I I want to say that I prefer one over the other, Los Altos or Valles, but I
Mhm.
really don't. For me, it's about my mood. Like there's
Mhm.
some days that I'm just like, today is a Valles. I want this vegetal, funky
Mhm.
minerality, and then there's other days it's like, nope, today I want citrus. I want floral. Like so I can't say that I have a favorite. I have a mood, and that mood drives me to which tequila I go and grab.
Mm.
Maybe I may be a weirdo, but that's just the way I am.
Oh, we also like, I mean, we have a lot of profiles in our distillery, and sometimes we like the lactic. Always when
Mhm,
we make carne asada, like a ribeye, we are taking this malolactic, or I have aged it, the malolactic.
mhm.
When you go to the distillery, I will show it to you.
Okay.
It's game changer.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Well, I can't wait, my friend. I will. I'll be down in August, so I'll shoot you some dates when we
Okay.
get off of here. I'll let you know when we're coming. Both of these are absolutely delicious. I
Glad you
kind
liked
of,
it.
I'm leaning into the higher proof, but I always lean into higher proof tequila.
Yeah, me
It just
too.
has a little bit more of the gusto of agave. So I want to say thank you for doing this tonight. Thank you for sending me these bottles. I really appreciate it. I can't wait to hang out with you in person again when we're down there. And I want to say cheers. Do you have a glass in front of you?
Well, I don't have a glass.
You have to drink out of the bottle then. Well, I'm going to say salute to you. Cheers. Thanks for doing this tonight. I really appreciate you, my friend.
Thanks, and remember, if you go Luisyana, you never go back.
Ah, there you go. I agree with you. Cheers.
Cheers.